Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about exams. It is unfortunately exam season. A lot of you will be either having university exams or you'll be having A-levels.
No, God!
So as you can see, I'm back at university, and the reason for that is that I'm having exams and I just can't sit them at home. So I came back here and I had my first exam today, and I just wanted to explain to you guys kind of what I learned from it. So I'm going to do a little bit about A-levels, and then I'm going to do a little bit specifically about Warwick maths exams, which is what I had today, so what I learned from doing that. So start off with A-levels. With your A-levels, really don't panic. You've been doing this content for 2 years. Trust what you've learned and trust that you know what you know, and please make sure to revise, because your A-levels influence where you go to university. Now, if you're not feeling too confident, don't panic. You still have time. It's never too late to start revising, and actually some people will need more time to revise than others. So once you started revising, make sure you make good use of that time. So you're old enough now to kind of have, or at least you've sat enough exams to have learned what kind of thing you're better at. So I work better if I make loads of notes and like kind of step through methods and kind of make like a step-by-step kind of way to solve problems, and then using that to do questions, and then I like to sit time papers as practice. So that's one way of doing it. Now, the beauty of A-levels is that you have so many past papers available for you to do questions and mark them. And the really key point is that you mark those questions. Now, if you do all of that, you'll be fine. And just kind of weight it however you feel like you need to. So whatever worked for your GCSEs, or if your GCSEs didn't work, then whatever worked for your ASs. Or just generally, you should have a better idea now of what works for you. So just go with that. Don't try anything new, just do what works and you really will be fine. So what I really wanted to talk about today was university exams, because for a lot of us, this is our first time sitting proper exams made for online to do at home, online. So the first thing I want to say is that in my experience, these exams are very time pressured. So I find myself thinking I get extra time, so I have around 50% extra for my exams. And I find myself looking at the clock and thinking, I have 3 hours, I don't need to rush. But really, from the start, you need to be like, okay, I am going to run out of time. So I'd say, learning from specifically my exam this morning, I really needed to push myself to continue. So I'd find myself sitting on a question for too long. If I don't know how to do it, I had to just move on. And you can come back to it. I mean, you're submitting it online, so if you need to, you can work on different bits of paper and then sort it out in your upload time, because you do get 45 minutes to upload. So if you need to be kind of cropping pictures in that time, just because you've been working on separate bits of paper, do it. And honestly, literally writing each question on a different piece of paper, which is what I did, is so worth it, because it allows you to have more space and allows you to kind of, so once I finish with the question, I can scan that in very easily and kind of put it all together. So that's kind of timing wise. And then I'd say in terms of preparation, don't think because it's open book, or perhaps some of your exams aren't open book, but don't think that because it is open book, so like with the maths exams, that it will be easy. Because what they've done is they removed the questions that are stating definitions, theorems, or reproducing proofs. So that would be, normally you get a couple of marks for that and it would take a second because you can just spew out the definitions. And personally, I try to learn the definitions anyway, because it just saves time having to flick through notes. And as I said, it is really time pressured. So just don't go in thinking I don't need to revise, because this is very easy. I'm going to have my books, I'm going to have my notes, I'm going to have the resources from the lectures. You have a lot of material available that you need to synthesize and memorize, and then you can sit the exam successfully. So I would really say that you should try to look over at least your assignments. I actually redid the assignments because it's possible that a method there could be assessed, and also to take note of kind of the examples and the computations in the lecture notes, because as I said, they're not going to assess definitions, so they want to see how you apply things. And I think it's really helpful if you are able to kind of understand how to do that. The other thing which I would suggest is preparing yourself the day before or the night before. So what I did was I made the cover sheet and a document and saved it with the correct name for the module, and there'll be information on either Moodle or the AEP on what format they expect you to submit your answers in. So I made sure that was all ready for me, so that all I had to do on the day was scan the papers in and submit. That made it a lot less stressful, because actually today there were a few problems with the AEP. People were having trouble with submitting and stuff like that. So if something like that happens, obviously you have your 45-minute window to submit, and then in that time you shouldn't be kind of panicking because you don't know what to write on the cover page. You can really use that time to contact the invigilator if you're having trouble uploading or something like that. The other thing I would suggest is to keep the invigilator's phone number on your phone saved, so that in case something does happen, like your internet goes out and you can't contact the invigilator through the AEP, then you can just give the number a call straight away. So hopefully that will kind of help you with your mitigating circumstances. So yeah, so essentially that's all I really had to say. But just general things for any exam is make sure you get a good night's sleep. Our exams have been at 9 a.m. start time, so really you want to be up and make sure you're awake before that. So that means try and sleep early. I know if you're not used to it, it's a bit difficult, but then again, you can just take a nap after your exam. I know quite a few people who are doing that. So that is one thing to do. And then the other thing is, and I think this is really important, and my mum always told me this, eat breakfast before your exam. I mean, the exams are long and you don't want your stomach rumbling in them. So I had a big bowl of cereal before my exam, and I think that helped me kind of get my brain working, I guess. The other thing I'd suggest is perhaps not to sit your exam in your pyjamas, because it is a formal exam, and I think it helps you to focus if you feel like you're sitting an actual exam. It's a bit weird because obviously you can't see anyone else taking the exam and you're kind of just looking at a screen, and when I was doing it, it felt like a lot like my revision, and it kind of makes you a bit less panicked as you would be in an exam room. But I found that actually my mind was wandering off a little bit. I was kind of doing a couple of things around my room that, you know, I could have done later, just tidying up or something like that during the exam. It's difficult to get into that mindset that actually, yes, this is a proper formal exam. But I think once you get that, and or if you start with that mindset, then it will absolutely help you so much. That's all I really had to say. Obviously, I'm speaking from experience. As a maths student, some of you will have 24-hour windows. Personally, with a 24-hour window, I'd still try and do it at the start of the day, not the end, just for the simple reason that I will get panicked if I do it too late. But obviously different people, some people work really well if they had the whole day to kind of revise and they feel ready and they take the exam after. And if that's you, then yeah, just do what works for you. But yeah, so yeah, as I said, this is speaking from sitting my maths exam this morning, and I really hope that when you sit your exams, whether it be A-levels or it's university exams, that you found some of these tips useful and you can take those into account when you're doing your exams. So good luck with your exams, and I'll see you next month.